Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Minnesota.
A steamy night ahead at Target Field reflects the red-hot race going on this week for the AL Central Division lead. Another big crowd on hand tonight in downtown Minneapolis. Twins and Royals square off, tied for the Central Summit. But by the end of the night, only one of them will be king of that hill. And on a 90-degree night like this, is it really necessary to warm up? Twins like their chances with Trevor May on the mound. His stock has been soaring this season. Kansas City will counter with their tall and talented free agent addition, 6'10" Chris Young. Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. High-octane offenses fueled the Twins to the best home record in the American League this season, although last night, Roy, they were held to just one run, courtesy of a rookie hitter that has caught your educated eye.
Yeah, Eddie Rosario, I think, is a very exciting young player. You have a little scouting report on him. He's got power to all field. We've seen that. This bomb in the upper deck, that he can also hit the ball out of the ballpark the other way, as we saw last night. Anywhere in the ballpark, he can hit it. He's got such fast hands through the hitting zone. Even in slow motion, watch as his hands go through the zone. That big end comes right with it, and that's where he gets that big extension. And extension is where you get the power and the distance. And he's not afraid of left-handers. Little left-handed curveball right there, he doesn't care. He'll go up there and fight left-handers as well as any young player coming up out of the minor leagues that I've seen. So those are the attributes that I've seen from this young man that really impressed me. But I'll tell you what excites me about him is that he doesn't even know how good he is yet. When he understands that he can let the ball travel further on the plate because he can hit the ball out of the ballpark and against the fence and by outfielders to the opposite field, then he'll get fooled less and less on breaking balls and changeups because he knows he can wait and see the ball. Once he gets to that realization, this kid's going to has a chance to be unstoppable because of all those other physical attributes that I mentioned. He just has to know how good he is and how good he's going to be.
Up next, Dick Raymer and Bert Blyleven turn their attention to Trevor May and his impressive ascent on the mound this past month.
By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Dodge. Come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover event. And by Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. The Twins want to get back into the habit of winning series, particularly against divisional opponents. The middle game of 3 between the Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Trevor May hoping to repeat his performance at Fenway Park when he went 7 innings. 6 of those 7 innings were 1-2-3 innings. And good Tuesday night from Target Field. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven with you for the middle game of this series with the Kansas City Royals. Other than the team's record itself, the most encouraging thing I think for Twins fans is this Twins rotation, seemingly with every turn of the rotation, has gotten a little bit better, and nobody's reflected that improvement more than Trevor May.
Yeah, Trevor May over his last 4 starts has done exactly what the Twins hoped a starter would do, and that's to go deep into the ball game. 2-0 over his last 4 starts. Very good earned run average. He has attacked the strike zone. Only 1 walk in the 26 strikeouts for Trevor May.
And so May will get the ball here tonight as the Twins hoping to even the series with the Royals at a game apiece. And for the pitching coach's perspective on tonight's starting pitcher, let's go down to Marnie Gellner.
Hey, Dick, I asked pitching coach Neil Allen to tell me 3 things that he really likes about what Trevor May has done in his last handful of starts. And Neil told me that Trevor was very upset. He had been only going 5 1/3, 5 2/3 innings, and then it was a big event when he got through 6 innings. Another is commanding his fastball, trusting in his fastball. That on his side sessions, Trevor has to throw a certain number of fastballs for strikes before they will allow him to throw any other pitch. Once he commands that fastball, he can go to the off-speed stuff with success and with confidence. So we hope Trevor can put all of those things together again tonight. He is coming off the best start of his career. He'll try to do it again against the Royals, pitching game number 2 in this series at Target Field right after this.
To pick up a win against the Royals. Trevor May didn't need much run support in Boston, winning a 2-0 ball game at Fenway Park, and he'll try to follow that up with another good one here tonight. And Yost has his team in front of the Twins by 3 percentage points. The Twins have played 2 more games than the Royals have. They won 1 of those, lost another one. And you can see a 64-65 mark against the Twins in his managerial career with Kansas City. The Menards batting order: Alcides Escobar, Mike Moustakas. Lorenzo Cain has enjoyed a good year against the Twins already. Then Eric Hosmer, Kendrys Morales, Alex Gordon, Alex Rios, Salvador Perez, and Omar Infante.
And it'll be 25-year-old Trevor May on the mound, making his 11th start, his second against the Kansas City Royals. His first start of the year came here against the Royals. He ended up not pitching real well, so he's looking to redeem himself here tonight against the Royals. We already told you the numbers over his last 4 starts, has been throwing very good baseball.
Escobar, Moustakas, and Cain in the Kansas City first. And a first pitch strike. Escobar, leadoff hitter for the Royals. Not much of an on-base percentage, less than 300, way out in front of the breaking ball. And it's 0-2.
Yeah, May has really 4 pitches. That big slow curveball right there. He started him off with a fastball that can get in the low 90s. Then he'll mix in a hard slider and a very good changeup.
And 0-2 pitch hammered right down the line. That ball will go to the corner. And Escobar has a double.
Well, this is a good hitting Royals ball club. You don't want to make mistakes to the Kansas City Royals. Escobar on an 0-2 pitch. If Suzuki wants this ball in, you have to get it inside. It did not get in far enough. You see Kurt sitting inside, but Escobar opening up quickly on that fastball that's pretty straight right down that third baseline. For Escobar, his 10th double.
And now Mike Moustakas. Shortstop Eduardo Escobar in the vicinity of second base, trying to keep Alcides Escobar close to the second base bag. And a first pitch strike. What you hope, of course, is that over time things have clicked for Trevor May, and he knows what he can do. He knows how to get people out, what he needs to do to get them out. Once a pitcher gets to that point, well, then you can expect good things from them. Once they get some things figured out up here, and well, we've at least seen glimpses of that from May, haven't we?
Yeah, it takes time. It takes mound time. This is only his 20th major league start, his 21st game overall.
And that's doink to left. Escobar around third, and he'll score. And Moustakas gives Kansas City another early lead. Remember, for the last 2 weeks of the month of May, it seemed like the Twins were always scoring first, scoring in the early innings. Well, now the tables have turned a little bit. Boston did it in Fenway Park, and Kansas City's done it the first 2 nights here.
Yeah, you can see the fastball doesn't have a lot of movement, even though it's in the low 90s. You know, when he throws that 2-seamer, he'll get some ground ball outs, but right now that fastball up a little bit.
And we saw the Brewers do it in the Twin Series as well.
Moustakas picking up his 19th RBI of the year.
Quick 1-0 lead, and now here's Lorenzo Cain. And that ball gets by Suzuki, and Moustakas will go to second.
Well, breaking ball getting away from Suzuki, and for Trevor May, that's his first wild pitch of the year. See where the breaking ball lands, and then Kurt Suzuki trying to backhand it, and he got through him. So Moustakas gets to second base on the wild pitch.
Cain, the batter. And May with a nice pickup. Nearly overshot.
You got to run at the runner.
And Moustakas is tagged, one away. So good play by May to make the catch. And an early release, but eventually they got the lead runner, and Cain goes to first.
Yeah, Trevor May had to run down Moustakas, who's not the quickest of foot. But as a pitcher, when you get this ball like this, like May did right here, you want to run at Moustakas instead. He's lucky that Trevor Plouffe had to jump for it and then tags out Moustakas. Nobody hurt.
One down, one on, and here's Eric Hosmer. Got a big base hit in his last at bat last night, driving in an insurance run. High fly to right, and Hunter comes in a few steps. Hosmer gone on one pitch.
We see Trevor Plouffe with the maybe got his jersey.
Got
maybe
the left
got his shoulder on the way. Yep.
Left shoulder on the second swipe. 2 down, and here's Kendrys Morales. Morales with an upper deck home run in his first at bat yesterday to give them a 2-0 lead, and ended up winning by 2 runs. Inside, want to know the home run pitch. A mistake by Phil Hughes, but getting to 3-1 was maybe even a bigger mistake.
Right. Yeah, and then he just said he wanted that fastball down. He left it right there. Phil Hughes ended up pitching a whale of a ball game, but that 2-run home run hurt him.
Speed pitch hits the inside corner, 1-1.
Hughes in yesterday's ball game ended up going 7 2/3 innings, only 3 runs allowed, a quality start with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Twins ended up losing 3-1.
Swinging a foul, 1-2. In May's start in Boston, 7 innings, he gave up just 2 hits, and it was a double and a single in 1 inning, but the Red Sox didn't score. The other 6 innings were 1, 2, 3 innings, and now here tonight in the first inning, the Royals get a quick double and a single and score a run in the process.
He retired the last 13 Boston Red Sox he faced.
And in the dirt, and alertly going to second on a pitch in the dirt, Lorenzo Cain. He should get credit for a stolen base, I would think. Pitch was in the dirt, but Suzuki picked it up.
That's good base running. I don't believe he was off until he saw that breaking ball in the dirt, so we'll wait and see.
It is a wild pitch.
Wild pitch, second wild pitch of the inning.
2-2 to Morales. It hit the outside corner.
Alan Porter said it was a strike, so it was a strike.
His opinion is the only one that matters.
That's right.
As many hits as he did in 7 innings at Fenway Park. Molitor hoping his team can come back and get a 500 homestand here. They lost 2 out of 3 to Milwaukee in the first in the Kansas City series. The Menard batting order has Brian Dozier leading off, then Torrey Hunter, Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, Kurt Suzuki, Kenny Vargas, Eduardo Escobar, and Aaron Hicks.
And they'll be facing 6'10" Chris Young, last year's American League Comeback Player of the Year when he won 12 ball games for the Seattle Mariners. For Young, he is making his 7th start, his 13th appearance so far this year. Done very well in both roles.
A couple of relief roles against the Twins, and in each case he pitched 2 perfect innings and then The one time he was asked to pitch a third inning, the Twins started gaining on him a little bit. But then in Kansas City, 2 innings and a win at Kauffman Stadium against the Twins. Little pop-up short center. And going out is Infante, making the catch in front of Kane, 1 away. And you'll see a lot of that. And it's hard to understand why. Here's this big, imposing figure out on the mound. He doesn't throw that hard and throws it right over the middle of the plate, but he gets pop-ups. Kansas City Royals defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Same lineup as last night. Gordon, Kane, Rios across the outfield. Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, Hosmer, the infielders, and Perez catching.
Yeah, a guy that's 6'10", about 250. I mean, straight over the top. He does pitch up in the zone with that fastball. We'll look at the gun as it'll read, maybe 88, 89 tops. He will not hit 90. Big, slow breaking ball. He'll move the ball all around 4 corners of the plate. There's a breaking ball right there.
And he gets ahead of Hunter, 0-2.
Right-handers have really had a tough time against Young, hitting only 139 against him. Opponents hitting just 192 overall.
Missing the inside corner. You never know where your best pitching is going to come from. The Twins have found that out with Mike Pelfrey. He was supposed to be in the bullpen this year, and you can make the case that he's been Minnesota's best starting pitcher this year. Tapper to short. Escobar shuffles and fires 2 down. And Young's kind of got the same story going with the Royals. He was in the bullpen, then they moved him into the rotation in May, and he was Kansas City's pitcher of the month in May.
Yeah, now his last couple starts, he has struggled against the Yankees and the Indians. He's 0-2 with that high earned run average. But for Young, he's making his 7th career start against the Twins, his 9th appearance. He's 1-2 with a very good 3.35 ERA against the Twins.
2 down, and here's Mauer, 2 for 11 against Young, and he delivers an 86-mile-per-hour fastball at the knees.
He's such an intimidating figure out there, and I think because of his height, his weight, you're thinking he's going to throw 93, 94. But he kind of short arms the ball a little bit with good control.
It is a very quick first inning. Getting an infield pop-up and 2 ground balls. It's 1-0 Kansas City.
Welcomed 2 new members to their family with last night's MLB draft, a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed pitcher. The Twins took lefty Tyler Jay with the 6th overall pick out of Illinois. Illinois. He's primarily a reliever for the Illini, but the Twins think that he could be an effective starter long term. The Twins' second-round pick was Kyle Cody from Kentucky, the number 73 overall pick. Cody is originally from Chippewa Falls and was the Wisconsin Gatorade High School Player of the Year in 2012. The Twins made an additional 10 picks in the draft today. Word is, though, Bert Blyleven could not be happier with the Twins' decision to draft a pair of pitchers with their first 2 picks last night.
Not have enough pitching. Yeah, good luck to everybody that gets drafted. You know, hopefully your dream will fulfilled and you could be where these guys are right here at the major league level one day.
And of course, people know, I think, the baseball draft is far different than it is in the NFL or the NBA. Those players are drafted in the next year. They're expected to contribute. And of course, baseball, you'll hear about Kyle Cody, and you might not see him up here. If he gets on the fast track, it might be 3 years.
Here's a guy right here that was a number 4 pick for the Phillies, Trevor May. And, you know, last year was his first year. He got drafted in 2008. So he spent some time in the minor leagues.
May, coming into tonight, has issued just 1 walk over his last 4 starts, falling behind 3-0.
Got a little bit of rain coming down. Some of the fans starting to scatter a little bit.
3-2. Gordon, Rios, and Perez in the Kansas City second. And May comes back to strike him out.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Again, May in the minor league system voted the best changeup in the minor league system, and he showed it right there, picking up his second strikeout.
Northland 4 defense for the Twins. Eddie Rosario in left field. Hicks in center, Hunter in right. Fluke, Escobar, of course, now the regular shortstop for the Twins with the demotion of Danny Santana. Dozier and Mauer on the right side. Suzuki behind the plate. There's Rios taking a strike. Twins, just as we said, percentage points behind Kansas City in the standings on June 9th. Ball hit to right center field. Hicks will chase it and get there, out number 2. And it's amazing, as we had Terry Ryan with us last night, not a whole lot has gone right for this baseball team. And just looking at the 2 Santanas, the Twins signed Irvin. He hadn't thrown a pitch for them yet. And Danny Santana struggled so much he's sent down. So everyone thought, well, if things broke right, there'd be 2 Santanas contributing to a competitive team. And in reality, right now, neither one's here. 2 down. Here's Perez. Up high, ball 1.
Twins also looking for some power out of Oswaldo Arce. And, you know, I mean, he had 20 home runs last year. And he's down now, optioned out in AAA.
Vargas was sent down and now is called back. You bring up an interesting name, because I'll be very curious when, how, and where. Ball punched to right field, a base hit for Perez. When, how, and where Arcia fits in. You know, this is one of the reasons this team has gotten 9 games above 500. Better outfield defense. And I don't know that there's anything out there that you'd want to tinker with right now.
Tell you what, good piece of hitting right there by Perez. That's why, as a catcher, his average is always up there in the 280s, 290s. Career 280 hitter, because he could do that. Didn't try to pull the ball, just took that fastball the other way. 3rd hit for the Royals.
Here's Infante, and there's a belt-high strike. Infante hitting in the low 200s, but playing a solid second base. Outside, 1-1. Strike 2 call.
Yeah, May making his 3rd career start against the Royals. Both of his previous starts were here at Target Field, so he's looking for his first win. 0-2 in his career against the Royals.
High fastball gets him. Maybe a high changeup. At any rate, he struck him out. 3 strikeouts for Trevor May. And Trevor Plouffe will lead things off for the Twins when we come back. Road trip will take them to Texas and then St. Louis, and the Twins won't have to pitch to Matt Holliday on our Sanford Health injury report. Holliday diagnosed with a grade 2 right quad strain. I don't know if you saw the play last night
in Colorado.
It just looked terrible. It looked like very painful, and they are anticipating Holliday missing at least a couple of weeks. Remember, Matt Adams tore his quad and is going to be out for 3 months, something like that. Right. So the Cardinals a little banged up with quad injuries. 1 strike to Trevor Plouffe, hoping to get off the schneid here in this series. Checks his swing and takes a ball. He did check his swing, 1-1.
Well, all those injuries, they still have a 6.5 game lead over the Cubs and the Pirates, and they also lost Adam Wainwright for the season. So quite an organization, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Plouffe to left field, hit right at Gordon, 1 down, and that'll bring up Rosario. Thursday, June 18th, an American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1. For the first time, the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names in the history books. Exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay Golf Course. June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Eddie Rosario was responsible for the only run the Twins got last night, an opposite field home run, cutting the Kansas City lead to 2-1. 1-0. And now 1-1.
As we take a look at Chris Young's delivery, again 6'10", about 250. Should get to that balance point. I don't care how tall you are or how short you are. You want to get right there, and you can see the back foot push off of that pitching rubber, and then the follow through. People will say, you know, he's so tall. Why didn't he play basketball? Well, he was a pretty good basketball player at Princeton. He actually got an offer to join the Sacramento Kings back in 2004, but that's just when he made his call up in the first season with the Rangers, so he decided to stick with baseball.
1-2 to Rosario. He's poked to right center field, and Rios ranges over, makes the catch, 2 away.
And you really don't see any good contact yet. There's been a lot of fly ball outs, but they're weakly off the bat.
And when we showed the slow motion replay a few moments ago, it looks as if, and this, we weren't in the batter's box with our camera, but it looks like he hides the ball well. He brings his arm back, and then it's boom, over the top.
Right. Kind of what you call a short armor. He doesn't really show the ball a lot, but does a good job of right now. Look at that. 88 is his high and 79 the low.
There's Kurt Suzuki. 87 on the corner, strike one.
13 walks in 47 innings pitched for Chris Young. He's always had excellent control, making his 195th major league start. 69 major league wins.
Weak pop up to center. Kane comes in. Third time this year that Young has pitched 2 perfect innings to start his outing against the Minnesota Twins. Escobar with a double on an 0-2 pitch down the left field line. He eventually scored a few pitches later on a Mustaka single, and that's where we're at. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven, joined here in the top of the third inning by Roy Smalley, one of the many stars we had on our pregame show, and so we're happy to have him up here in the third inning.
Great to be with you guys. I don't get to be with you much. It was great.
Oh, very nice.
You saw enough of him, didn't you? And, when you were, you weren't teamemates
until
'87. That's right.
That's right.
And my neck.
I saw enough of him on the mound. I know that.
Yeah. Escobar against Trevor May, and a check swing up high, ball one.
And that's when he played for us.
Escobar, I guess it can be said now, the centerpiece of the trade the Royals made years ago. Get Zach Greinke over to Milwaukee, and the Royals had Yuneski Betancourt, but they wanted an upgrade defensively, and boy, did they ever get one in this guy.
He can some kind of pick it out there. He's a big league shortstop for sure.
I think, Roy, we're going to go over Escobar, our Escobar, playing short at Brian Dozier. You know, with Alcides Escobar, he has Infante. They've worked together a lot. Now, Escobar worked with Dozier last year, but with Santana going down, how hard is it as a former shortstop yourself sometimes to work with a new second baseman?
Well, when you're in the big leagues, you ought to be able to play with anybody pretty quickly. I mean, most of the throws from short to second or from second to short are the same kind of throws. But to get really good and very, very efficient out there as a double play combination, you got to work a lot in practice. And remember, when I played in 1979, we set a major league record for double plays. I actually held the record for double plays by shortstop for a long time, and I played with two second basemen, Bobby Randall and Rob Wilfong. And so we had to work really, really hard. And that's what Escobar and Dozier are doing now in practice.
Rolled to third, picked up by Plouffe. One down. He's thrilled to be back in the infield where he had his best year professionally last year.
And you see what they're doing right here. They're taking a lot of ground balls. He's making the turn, but not only making the turn, he's getting used to where Brian, how he receives the ball from Brian from different spots on the field. When Brian goes deep in the hole, like they were practicing on, the throw is throwing harder, and so he's got to see how the ball travels. Does it tail when he's running away from the play like that?
So it's kind of a timing play too. Then I mean, how quick you get to the bag.
Yeah, you want to get to the bag as quickly as you can and stay behind it, anticipating the throw. You don't come across until you see the ball. You anticipate maybe a bad throw. Not that you get a whole lot of them in the big leagues, but you have to be behind the bag in case the throw is errant, and then you can go get it, at least get one out. But most of the time you stay behind the bag, you see the throw, you come flying across as a shortstop. But where you receive the ball from the second baseman changes based on the speed of the ball and where the ball is on the infield. Brian likes to backhand the ball a lot with his hand. He'll flip the ball out of his hand, and you got to get used to that.
The Rooster beat you the next year.
The next year, yeah. I broke the record that had been held for a long time, and the next year Rooster got me by 3 double plays.
Just tells me there was a lot of people on first base. I wasn't on that club, was I?
You were not. You were not. I wish you were. I wish you had been.
Yeah, they never stopped at first. They just kept going.
Lifted to right field. Torrey can't find it. Now he sees it. For a while there, he had that look we haven't seen very often since the Metrodome days. He looked and motioned as if I have no idea where the ball is.
Kind of holding his heart a little bit. He did pick it up.
I wish Torrey would have some fun playing the game of baseball. That's all I wish.
He says right there, I don't see it. Okay, there it is. He even pointed at it.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
Remember at the Metrodome, every once in a while, it happened frequently where you'd lose a ball in the ceiling, but then the outfielder, or in some cases even the infielder, would look at field level like, where is it? Well, it's still up there. You better keep your eyes up. And Torrey at least kept his eyes up and located the ball.
He played it exactly like we used to play it in the Metrodome.
To center field. And Hicks comes in. He's going to play it on a hop. And Kane has a 2-out single.
Now, right off the end of the bat, 4th hit for the Royals.
Well, Eduardo Escobar looked last night like he was back home.
Yeah, he loves playing shortstop. He likes playing anywhere in the infield, but shortstop's a fun place to play. That was a nice play right here.
Yep.
Got rid of the ball very nicely. Get one out right there for sure, and that was a big out at the time. But back to making double plays. You have to practice from all over the field, throwing the ball to your second base, to the pivot partner. Both guys. We used to take at least 50 ground balls each. I'd throw 50 ground balls from all over shortstop, throw it to second baseman, then turn around. The second baseman would take 50 and throw it to me.
So your relationship is almost like a pitcher-catcher during a ball game. You have to, as Dozier moves over a little bit, you watch him, and Escobar's going to go up the middle a little bit. So you kind of move together.
What's really, really important, Bert, is to take enough ground balls in practice so that you know what the ball tends to do, the trajectory of the ball from different spots on the field from your double play partner. If he's deep in the hole, what's a hard throw do? If he's coming close to me, what's his underhand do? If he goes behind the base, where's he likely to throw me the ball? It's all those things that you work on, and you have to work on in practice, because if it shows up in the game, you don't really know what to expect.
Let's break it down to the Little League, because if a shortstop or second baseman, if they work together, you never anticipate a perfect throw, do you?
No, that's what I was saying earlier. You stay behind the bag, wait till you see the ball, and then go get it. Absolutely right.
1-0 to Hosmer.
Now, as you get more and more used to your double play partner, there are a lot of plays where they're underhand plays. You come flying across there because he's not going to throw it bad. He's a big league player. He's really good. We've done this 150 times. I know this underhand's going to be right there, and I can come flying across the bag and make a double play.
Inside now 2-1. When you practiced in your playing days, did you practice the highlight real-time plays? Because you see guys do that now, where they're just flipping the ball glove to, out of their glove without using their hand.
You bet.
The stuff you see in the highlight reels, that stuff actually gets practiced out here.
Yeah, it really does, because basically what you do is you get your coach that's hitting the fungos to hit it all over your position that you're responsible for. So I might play double play depth in practice, and he hits some right at me, we get loose, and then he's hit some to my left, and I'd either underhand it or flip it with a glove. Then he'd hit balls in the hole, and I'd either jump up in the air or I'd get in front of it and make a quick flip. And all the time I'm practicing how I'm going to give the ball to the second baseman right up where he can handle it really well. And all the time he's reading my body language and saying, okay, when he is under this kind of stress and his body's doing this, how does that ball tail, or does he throw it to me straight, or where does he tend to throw it to me? And that's just all stuff you just do over and over and over.
Sometimes in a game that we see, Roy, there are plays that there's no way you could practice that. It's just cat-like instincts you guys have up the middle.
Full count with 2 gone. Kane will take off. And missing the inside corner. A rare walk by Trevor May.
He tried the changeup again.
And now Kendrys Morales.
Now on the 3-1 pitch, Kane took off. Now who's covering the bag? Is it Escobar?
Yeah, it'll be Escobar in this situation, because the left-hand hitter, they expect him to hit. If he puts the ball in play on the ground, they expect it to be to the right side, as evidenced by where Escobar was playing. He was playing up the middle anyway. But even if you're playing more straight up, usually the shortstop will decide and make the call on based on the pitch, based on the hitter and the pitch that's coming. And, there's a lot of times when you would change, you would think a right-hand hitter, he's going to hit the ball to me as a shortstop. But take a guy like Derek Jeter. If there's somebody on first base and Derek Jeter's hitting, Derek Jeter, is not, if he swings that's not going to miss it. He's never missed a hit and run in his life. And he's likely to hit the ball to right field, because that's what he loves to do. So we change that up. You just have to know who the hitter is, who your pitcher is, what the pitch is coming, and then decide what's the likelihood of the ball being hit on the ground. Where's it going to go?
But Roy, watch Escobar right now. He's trying to keep Kane close, but he also doesn't want to, give up too much room. He's kind of backpedaling. Okay, he's kind of behind him. He's kind of doing the cat and mouse game. Okay.
Right.
All right, now he's backpedaling to get a little more range, right, in case the ball is hit the other way.
Yeah, and he's doing it just exactly right, because he's coming straight in rather than faking back and forth from the base, which will not let you get back to the position you need to. He'll shorten the distance by coming straight in. That way, if he decides to go to the base, he's way in there now. Now he'll back
Trevor
off.
May, I've got to try to pick Kane off.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. And if I'm the shortstop, if I'm Escobar, as I move in and Kane doesn't go back as I'm shortening the distance, boy, I'd throw that glove out and let's see if we can get him. Absolutely.
Yeah, Greg Gagnon was very good at that. I had a better pick off the second than I did the first.
Bouncer to first. Mauer scoops it up. 2 men are left aboard. A scoreless 3rd inning. And our thanks to our friend Roy Smalley.
All right, thank you.
My pleasure, guys.
Is presented by Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Chris Young with a couple of perfect innings and a 1-0 lead. Let's see if the Twins can have better swings against him from this point forward again.
Well, have a little more patience, too. 17 pitches for 6 outs for Chris Young.
Kenny Vargas, Eduardo Escobar, Aaron Hicks will hit.
Vargas just getting called up. 1 hit in 4 at-bats in last night's ball game.
Strike 1.
This is a side of the plate that he has struggled from, hitting only 174 as a left-handed hitter. And Young getting ahead in the count. 6 of 7 first pitch strikes.
One strike to Vargas.
Young first came to the big leagues in 2004 with the Texas Rangers. He actually made his first major league start and his debut against the Twins back in August 24th of 2004. Ended up getting a no decision. Rangers won the game, beat the Twins 5-4.
Swing and a miss, and Vargas strikes out on 3 pitches.
And Young picks up his first strikeout.
June 19th is a fireworks Friday as the Twins take on the Cubs, presented by Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare. First 10,000 fans will get a Hall Molitor bobblehead courtesy of select Heartland Chevy dealers. Go to twinsbaseball.com and get your tickets today. Here's Eduardo Escobar with 1 gone in the 3rd. Outside, ball 1. Couple of switch hitters now, Escobar and Hicks, following another switch hitter, Vargas. Fouled back 1-1. Talked with Young yesterday, saw him walking through the dugout, and there was about 2 inches of clearance between the top of his head and the ceiling in the Kansas City dugout. So I mentioned to him, I said, you know, now you should thank the Twins, because at the time this ballpark was built, they had somebody in their farm system, Luke Van Meel, who was even taller than you, talking with Young. Luke Van Meel was what, 7'1"?
7'1".
Yeah. And so the dugouts here are plenty big for Chris Young. He did say that he did not enjoy walking around the dugouts at Wrigley Field. Up and away, and it's 2-2.
You know, I spoke to him yesterday too, and I was kind of on the second railing over by their dugout, and I told him to stay on the flat railing so we can look eye to eye. Okay.
That's punched down the left field line, but it'll be a foul ball.
Yeah, I guess I'm always amazed, you know, at 6'10" or 7'1" like Luke Van Meel, how tall that is. I mean, I'm 6'3". You look at somebody like that, you're still looking up. Have not been too many baseball players with that type of height.
The Twins had John Roush, a relief pitcher, who was a closer for a while for the Twins.
What do you think of Randy Johnson?
2-2 to Escobar. Twins trying to get Young into the stretch, and then foul back. It's such a complex thing, pitching mechanics, and you mastered it and were able to keep things under control for the most part for 23 years. You get a guy so big, so many moving parts. It's got to be tough, I would think, mechanically, for Young to keep his mechanics sound.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Young is that he's had a lot of surgeries. He's had right elbow surgery. He's had right shoulder surgery, 2 of those. And then a couple years ago, he actually had neck surgery and came back, and that's why he was American League Comeback Player of the Year, because of what he went through, the neck surgery, and then ended up winning 12 games for the Seattle Mariners. But here's Young again. You can see, and you're right, Dick, he does hide the ball very well.
And Escobar takes just his 4th walk, and Young will go now into the stretch position. And that'll bring up Aaron Hicks.
Young over his career, you can run against him. Over his career, spanning 194 starts, there's been 179 stolen bases, only 21 caught. Because of that big frame, it takes him a little while, maybe a step or two for that potential base stealer to get to second or third.
Here is Hicks. Had a good night at the plate last night. Stung the ball 3 times. Escobar takes off. And Perez's throw in time to get him. Perez's throw fielded nicely by Escobar, who brought the glove around to put the tag on. And Paul Molitor waiting to see whether the Twins will challenge this.
Yeah, I thought Escobar got a pretty good jump, but you're also talking about a 2-time All-Star catcher that has a cannon back there. Look at the jump. He got a good jump. But the throw right there, quick tag by Escobar. And does he get Escobar?
Don't know. This early in the game, you don't want to burn your challenge. And so
Twins do not.
Yep. Twins will not use the challenge and lose the base runner.
Take another look right here. Escobar, the shortstop, making a quick tag.
Yep, he was out. 1-0 to Aaron Hicks. And now 2-0. Hicks hitting .271 from the left side of the plate, the side that he stopped hitting from last year. This one hit to the right field corner, but Rios is there. 3 nearly perfect innings for Chris Young, and it's a 1-0 Kansas City lead. Exceptional shopping, award-winning restaurants, wineries and craft breweries, distinctive accommodations. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with #only in MN. New restaurants run by well-known local chefs continue to expand the food scene in the Twin Cities. Fresh grilled walleye, delicious Minnesota-grown produce. It's too early now for sweet corn already, isn't it? We have to wait another couple months for sweet corn in Minnesota.
That is awesome.
Strike one to Alex Gordon. It'll be Gordon, Rios, and Perez. It is not too early for fresh grilled walleye. Up and away, 1-1. The Twins' team ERA is smack dab in the middle of the 15-team American League rankings at 3.82. 7 teams better, 7 teams worse. And just measure again of the improvement of the Twins team this year. The opponent's ERA is 3.94, and I'd venture to say at no point in the last 4 years was the Twins' ERA lower than the opponent's in the games played. Pitches up, another 3-ball count, 3-1.
Yeah, Trevor kind of opening up on those last 3 pitches. Every fastball is up in the zone. Yeah, the starters have done a great job. Combined 24 and 16, an ERA just under 4 for the starting staff.
Gordon way out in front of that changeup, and it's 3-2.
Gordon, a strikeout victim, 1 of 3 strikeouts that May has. Gordon led off the top of the second. May struck him out on a good changeup.
Foul back. We had talked about Gordon's contract status last night. We got to clarify he has an option after this year. If he wants to come back at a predetermined figure, he will come back with the Royals. If he wants to test out the free agency waters, he can do that too. Foul back.
Yeah, Gordon, 31 years old. He's in his 9th season with the Royals. Their #1 pick back in 2005 out of the University of Nebraska. 2nd pick overall. First pick that year was Justin Upton for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Gordon had to get a new stick.
As the sun sets here, the downtown area is glowing.
What a magnificent sight, huh? And Gordon takes a leadoff walk, 2nd walk in the last 3 plate appearances. And now Gordon's aboard. Rios to the plate. Carsoup.com trivia question: who are the 2 Royals that have won American League Manager of the Year? I'm assuming Ned won it last year, didn't he? And then you'd go maybe with Dick Hauser for winning the World Series with the '85 team. Could be Jim Fry, who took him to the World Series in 1980.
Yeah, I like Dick Hauser.
1-0 to Rios. Hit a fly ball to center his first time up. Went after the first pitch from Trevor May.
Maybe Whitey Herzog.
Dribbled foul.
Boy, there was a time there that the Royals went through a manager almost every year.
And 2 pitching coaches.
Yeah. I think it was 8 straight years where there was a new pitching coach every year.
Then they had it very recently, even into last year. A lot of turnover in the hitting coach department. George Brett stepped out of semi-retirement to get back into uniform to help the Royals. Foul back, 1-2.
They got a good hitting coach now in Dale Swain.
Swain, briefly manager, former teammate of Paul Molitor's with the Brewers. 1-2. And a soft single to left. And now the Royals are putting together a threat here in the 4th. A leadoff walk to Gordon and then Rios.
Pretty good hitting by Rios right there. It was an off-speed pitch at 83 miles an hour. Weighted back nicely. Got out front and hit that ball between 3rd and short. It's a good hitting ball club. They come in hitting 270. Only the Tigers are hitting better than the Kansas City Royals on the season. Tigers hitting at 272.
And yet they went through an extended slump, much like the Twins are going through now, where run production's hard to come by. Twins 4th in the league in run scoring. There's strike 1. And the Royals 9th. So despite the high batting average and them being a good hitting club as they are, Twins have actually outscored them this year.
Yeah, Royals have the fewest home runs in the American League too. And the Twins are 2nd. So 2 clubs that don't hit a lot of home runs compared to other clubs.
And chopped foul, 0-2.
Royals have hit 41 home runs. The Twins have hit 45.
May averaging just less than a strikeout per inning pitched. He's got 3 in 3 innings, and he could use a 4th one right here.
Remember, Perez got a fastball away and hit it to right field in his first at bat. See where Suzuki sets up.
There's the strikeout.
Yep. Went back inside a little bit. May picks up a big strikeout. His 4th.
Straight change.
Yep.
One down, 1st and 2nd. The number 9 batter Infante at the plate. He struck out his first time up. Now the ground ball to short, right? That's how you pitch out of a jam. Strike out with 1 guy.
You'd like to see that.
Strike 1.
May has had 3 double plays turned behind him so far this year, making his 11th start. Oh, what a...
They got him picked off.
Yeah, May stepped off.
And Gordon is tagged out. So Gordon thought he had a running lead and took off for 3rd, and May just stepped off the rubber and got him in a rundown.
Let's take a look at May right here.
Yeah, the inside move.
That's what I saw was funny, because he lifted his leg, but you can turn and spin like he did, and he picks Gordon off. So first pickoff for May on the season.
2 down, runner at first. 1 strike to Infante. 2 strikes on Infante. And May picks it up after getting confused with Suzuki.
Yeah, May's got to go after that ball right there. That's a long way for Suzuki to go.
It'll be a 30-foot infield hit for Omar Infante, and the inning continues.
Yeah, ball had a lot of spin on it right here, but that's a pitcher's ball. He has to go get that ball and then flip it over to Mauer. Little hesitation right there, and I think May knew it.
Now Escobar, who doubled and scored in the 1st. In the inning, a walk, a soft ground ball single to left, and that little thing, however you want to describe that.
Let's hope that pickoff is a big out here this inning.
Up and in to Escobar.
A lot of pitches for May, 71 pitches.
Yeah, it was seemingly effortless and quick at Fenway Park. 7 innings, a little bit of a rainbow over downtown Minneapolis. Down and away, and it's 2-0. 7 innings at Fenway Park, 6 1-2-3 innings, and he just was in control the whole night, and nothing but trouble here in every inning so far tonight.
Yeah, you'd like to average between 12 and 15. You can see the 3rd, too many pitches already here. In the 4th, too many pitches. Quick trip to the mound by the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. And May back in the strike zone. I think we mentioned last night, this guy is a tough guy to walk. He's up there swinging a bat, Escobar. He's walked only 7 times in 192 at bats.
2-0 to Alcides Escobar. Bouncer to short, Eduardo Escobar. Brian Dozier. The Royals leave 2 more on in the 4th. Twins looking for their first hit in the 4th inning. Brian Dozier will lead things off. property of the Kansas City Royals. In his last 16 games, Brian Dozier's been a T-Mobile game changer, hitting for a .317 batting average, scoring 16 runs, 4 home runs, and 8 runs batted in. His average climbing up toward the .270 mark, starting today at .268. And he'd like to get a hit here and
get the offense going.
Yep.
Chris Young starting his 4th inning. He's kind of put into that rotation when Yolando Ventura was put on that suspended list. He got an opportunity to start, and then Jason Vargas went on a disabled list. Now Danny Duffy's on a disabled list. Starters for the Royals, so Chris Young getting that chance.
Strike one.
Young signed late by the Royals.
Off the plate, 1-1.
He didn't come to terms with the Royals until March 7th. Dave Island, the pitching coach.
Again outside, 2-1. Right back to Young, right off the end of the bat, 1 down. Now for a Coors timeless moment, trailing 4-3, bottom of the 7th at Metropolitan Stadium. The Twins erupt for the first 5 home run inning in American League history. Rich Rollins, Zoilo Versalles, Tony Oliva, Don Mincher, Harmon Killebrew all went deep in the 7th inning. Jimmy Hall banged one off the fence after that, and the Twins beat the Kansas City Athletics 9-4. The home runs came against.
I was going to ask, was it all one pitcher?
No.
Shoot.
First 2 home runs were hit against a Jim Hunter catfish. Then Paul Lindblad gave up a couple.
Lefty.
And then John Wyatt gave up the last home run to Harmon Killebrew. Here's a high fly to left center field. Gordon back, leaping, and makes the catch. You'd almost be surprised if he didn't come down with the ball.
Wow, this is one reason, again, this guy has already won 4 gold gloves, and he was a former infielder, turned outfielder. And this guy can play the outfield. It's a high fly ball. Gordon going back. And the ball keeps drifting on him. He backpedals, leaps, and gets that ball. Would have gone out of the ballpark?
I don't think so.
Maybe it would have hit right on top and bounced out. Very close.
2 down, and here is Bauer. The reason the ball kept drifting back, the wind has picked up and abruptly changed. It's blowing in hard from the right field plaza area, and that ball kept on carrying. It's blowing from the right field plaza area out toward left field. Bauer takes outside, 2-0. We have had a little bit of a weather system blow through here, and a cold front following the rain that will be sporadic here for the next half hour or so. On the outside corner, 2-1. Now, I saw 4 home runs in 1 inning at Yankee Stadium in '92, I believe it was. Scott Sanderson gave up all 4 home runs in 1 inning at Yankee Stadium. 3-1. You can see that rainbow out beyond the right field foul pole. Bauer trying to extend the inning to give Trevor Plouffe a chance here in the 4th. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
I think that's what's amazing right there. 87-mile-an-hour fastball, maybe just in the right spot up, but guys are swinging through it. Dozier got an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, hit it right back at Young off the end of the bat.
And a 2-hopper right to Infante. 4 no-hit innings for Chris Young, and a 1-0 Kansas City lead. fans of the game enjoying a nice night at the ballpark. There have been a few light showers, but we moved to the 5th inning already. The Twins don't have a hit. The Royals have plenty of those in the only run of the game. Here's Mike Moustakas, who drove it in with a first inning single.
Yeah, Trevor May needs a quick inning here.
Outside, ball 1.
You're not going to be as sharp every time out. May, we talked about a 7 shutout inning. Boy, he was dealing. He was pounding that strike zone here tonight. Just not as sharp as he was in his last outing. And these are all growing pains for Trevor May.
2-0 to Moustakas. About a year ago, the Royals probably were the least confident they've ever been that Moustakas was going to amount to anything. Fly ball left field. And Rosario trots in. 1 away. Moustakas was sent down to Omaha and then was called up only because of an injury to Danny Valencia. And very modest numbers and frankly disappointing numbers, but then he came back after his stint in Omaha, was a little bit better, and now this year much better.
Well, last year you see the 212 average, 15 home runs. He does have some pop, but came into the year only a 236 hitter in his 5th season. So yeah, he's putting it together this year.
There's Kane, and May sticks a fastball on the outside corner. Off the outside corner, 1-1. Looks like the Tigers are going to win 6-0. They're leading the Cubs at Comerica Park. And they announced today that Justin Verlander will make his 2015 debut on Saturday.
He's gone through the rehab starts and says that he's ready to go.
Royals have some rehab issues. In fact, an issue that will come to a head sometime tomorrow. There's a ball lined to Dozier. 2 away. You can fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online, available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. They're doing it on royalsbaseball.com.
A lot.
Big time. Royals leading the vote tabulations at 7 positions. But the Royals have to decide before tomorrow's game who is going to be their backup catcher. Right now it's Drew Butera because Eric Kratz had some plantar fasciitis and has been on a 20-day rehab assignment. The 20 days expire midnight tonight.
Right.
1-1. And Hosmer takes ball 2.
They got Drew Butera from the Angels off waivers, so there's that opportunity that whatever happens. There's Drew. Got a chance to talk to his dad, of course, Sal Butera, former Twin.
Think of the Kansas City backup catchers, and I'm reminded of a line somebody used. There was nothing more limited than being a limited partner with George Steinbrenner because he dominated everything. Well, there's nothing in baseball that serves you more in a backup role than being the backup catcher here in Kansas City, because Perez plays just about every time. Little roller, and Dozier scoops and fires. Good inning for May. A 1-2-3 fifth. It's still a 1-0 ball game.
From Fairmont, Minnesota, and we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets. Diane does not work for the city of Fairmont, but she's promoting it with her sign. We see the fishing, the lakes, the sunset, the snowmobiling. What is it that you would like us to know about Fairmont, Diane?
It's a great town to live. It's 11,000 people, and we're having a big festival there this weekend. On Friday, Saturday, we're having a big parade and a bunch of activities. That's about all I know.
Would someone like Dick Bramer enjoy the walleye fishing that you have in Fairmont?
Yes. See, their lakes are all hooked together.
Wow.
5 of them.
Open invitation.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, Dick, there you go.
All
Get yourself
right.
down
You
to
got your
Fairmont.
map out. Where is Fairmont?
Well, I don't know which lake I want to fish, whether I want to fish Eagle Lake, Pierce Lake, Bright Lake, Clayton, Tuttle Lake. There are a lot of lakes way down there. Fairmont's down by the Iowa border.
Okay.
Well, there's a town there called Fox Lake, and I guess there is a Fox Lake there, too. 1 strike to Trevor Plouffe. Twins looking for their first hit. And a called strike, 0-2.
Yeah, Trevor's really been struggling up at the plate as of late.
Two strikes.
And when you struggle, where do you find yourself? 0-2 count.
Landed 5 feet in front of the plate, 1-2.
That got the chest of the home plate umpire, Alan Porter. There are the umpires. Jeff Kellogg at second, the crew chief.
In May, Young was 3-1 with a 1.45. As we said, the Kansas City pitcher of the month. Pitching out of the bullpen in April. A couple of times effectively against the Twins. 1-2 to Plouffe. And fouled over the Twins dugout.
The Twins have had just a tough time squaring up and getting that ball solid. 6 fly ball outs, 4 ground ball outs, 1 strikeout for Chris Young.
Did he go? Yes. Plouffe is gone, and he will run to first, forcing Perez to throw to Hosmer, 1 away.
And make that 2 strikeouts for Young.
Throughout the month of May, and it was a great month of May, 20 wins in the month. Twins scored early and often, and they've done neither so far in June. You can see the batting average has taken a nosedive. Rosario with a fly to right, his first time up. Strike on the outside corner. Rosario doesn't concur. Fly ball right center field. A lot of hang time. Kane with the call on the catch, 2 down. Hit it in the right spot because of the Royals outfield shift, but too much air under it for the second out. Join us for Aloha Night 2015. A special offer includes a ticket for Thursday, July 9th's game, the Twins taking on the Tigers, and then you get a limited edition Kurt Suzuki Hawaiian t-shirt. Portion of proceeds benefit All Pono, a youth program in Kurt Suzuki's native Hawaii. Special offers available exclusively by logging on to twinsbaseball.com/aloha. You been to Hawaii?
Yes, I have. Beautiful. How about yourself?
I've not been there. How many times have you been there?
A couple times.
Kurt Suzuki's been there a lot.
Young man was born there.
Lives there in the off season. 1-0 to Suzuki. And he tried to hold up on a pitch darting down and away. 1-1.
Credit Chris Young. He is pitching outstanding, changing speeds, working that fastball up in the zone. Not a lot of good contact by the Twins offense.
You see, just 53 pitches thrown, 37 strikes. 1-1 to Suzuki. Now 1-2. Popped up. And Perez wants it. Makes the catch. And another perfect inning for Chris Young. Giving the Royals what the Twins hoped he would give them last year.
I remember Morales signing late by the Twins, and combined between the Twins and the Seattle Mariners, he had 98 ball games. Hit only 8 home runs this year in 55 games. He's hit 7 home runs already. His best season came with the Angels in 2009 when he hit 34 home runs, drove in 108 runs.
Morales, Gordon, and Rios will hit here in the 6th against Trevor May. Someone on Twitter was nice enough to inform me that the 5 lakes of Fairmont, Minnesota are George, Sisseton, Bud, Hall, and Amber. So I stand corrected. And I hope everybody who fishes those lakes gets their limit of walleyes.
But you could fish those other lakes too if you want to.
But man, apparently there are no fish in those lakes. I've fished enough of those in my time. 1 strike. 1-1.
Oh, Trevor May doing his part in keeping this game at a 1-0 lead. Royals came out with a double by Escobar, an RBI single by Moustakas in the first, and May keeping it a 1-0 deficit.
2-1.
It's just at that pitch count a little bit high. 88 pitches right now for May. Did have a quick 5th inning, needed only 12 pitches.
Morales, a big contributor to a winning team. Now 3-1. Be kind of a tough decision for the Royals to make. Billy Butler was on his way out, and on paper it probably didn't seem to make much sense. Here's Butler, a younger guy, still with some promise ahead of him. There's a ball rocketed to center field, and instead the Royals invested in Morales, who broken down, wasn't in spring training last year. There was nothing to suggest that he would rebound as he has this year. Let's go to Marty Gelder.
As you know, guys, the Twins have no hits yet tonight, so Paul Molitor may want to employ the strategy he used last night when in the bottom of the 5th inning, as his players came off the field, he gathered them in an impromptu little huddle session to talk about what Jason Vargas was doing and how he was throwing and how his guys could hit him. Molitor called it a perspective check as the game was unfolding, and he said he thought he'd done it one other time this season, but he said his feelings were strong enough that he thought he had to voice what he was seeing his hitters doing rather than just letting it sit there and stir in his head. So guys, maybe he may want to try that again tonight.
Anything to get something going. There's a half swing and a strike. Terry Collins might be calling one of those meetings right now because Chris Heston for the Giants has a no-hitter through 8 innings at Citi Field in New York. Gordon walked his last time up, had to work the count to get the walk. He struck out in the second.
Just missing there.
2-1. Now high 3-1. 92 pitches and not nearly as many strikes as Trevor would like, or the strike percentage down quite a bit from what it was at Fenway Park.
6 3-ball counts for May so far.
Just 2 walks so far. And now a 3rd walk. Well, May's really been stingy in that regard. His last 4 starts, just 1 walk allowed. And now, matching a season high 3 walks, he issued 3 walks, gave up 9 hits, and had his worst outing against the Indians on May 10th. Another 1st and 2nd, nobody out situation.
That's when Lonnie Chisenhall hit that 3-run home run off of him. Coming into the ball game since May 16th, the only 1 walk. Neil Allen, see if he sits back, gets some action in the bullpen. Presley Dunsing.
Alex Rios singled, pulling one through the hole between short and third his last time up. Strike on the outside corner. Seattle leading Corey Kluber and the Indians 3-1 in the 8th. Up and away.
See a lot of pitches up in the zone from May here so far in this ball game.
May trying to get a ground ball double play.
There's a good fastball
on the outside corner.
Sometimes it's just a matter of what you're up in the zone. You have to almost push your wrist down a little bit more because you're leading with the palm of your hand rather than your fingers on top of that baseball. That was a good pitch right there. Need a ground ball here.
And that gets through Suzuki. 2 runners will move up. And a couple of them get by Kurt that normally don't get by.
That looked like a changeup right there, and I don't know if they're going to call it a wild pitch or not. But they give him a wild pitch, if that's ball that Kurt knows he should have kept in front of. So 3rd wild pitch of the ball game for Trevor May, who came in with no wild pitches.
Infield in now, and the count 2-2. A high fly to center. Morales doesn't run well. Hicks throws very well. But here comes Morales. And here's the throw. Suzuki with the catch and the tag. Suzuki caught the throw in the right-handed batter's box and then surged forward for the tag.
You know, right there, I don't know if Rosario wanted that ball or not, but it was Hicks that had the best angle at that and made a perfect throw home. He gets behind the ball, and then a good strong throw toward home plate. Kurt Suzuki gets it on that 2nd hop and then tags out Morales. Great throw by Hicks. And Suzuki keeping that hand in the glove with the ball to make sure it doesn't come out. And Trevor May says, yes, thank you.
And a low throw from Hicks that kind of froze Gordon at second base as well. Sometimes pitch inside, runners are instructed to run into an out on a tag play like that to force the team in the field to cut the ball off and make a play. But Gordon stayed at second base. The ball bounced through to get Morales. Strike 1. And now fouled away. Well, if Trevor May can struggle as he has and get through 6 innings with just 1 run allowed,
That's pitching.
Well, in a way, isn't it more impressive than what he did at Fenway Park?
Yeah.
Got some help from Hicks, and the Royals have lost 2 runners at second base, and now in this inning, a runner at the plate. 2 strikes to Perez. High fastball got him. It wasn't as dominant as his 7 innings at Fenway Park, but Trevor May comes off the mound just down 1-0 thanks to a nice, accurate throw by Aaron Hicks. Presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. May got through 6 innings. It wasn't as smooth a ride as it was at Fenway.
Like you said, thanks to Aaron Hicks and also Kurt Suzuki. Look, Kurt's out in front of the plate, but he sees that it's going to be 2 hops, so he plays the second hop and then tags out Morales. I think if he had stayed up there, he may have noticed, I've got to get it on that little short hop. That's hard to catch. I'll go back behind the plate, get it on a better second hop, and then apply the tag. Perfectly executed by Hicks and Suzuki.
Outside to Vargas. Isn't that interesting? We talk about infielders reading hops to try to make sure that they get a good one, and now it looked like the catcher did that.
Yeah, again, remember baseball, you have to give that runner a sliding lane, and Kurt did by going out front of the plate and then behind the plate.
Yeah, he couldn't stop in between.
Right.
Well, now 2-0 to Vargas, bottom third of the Twins lineup. Eduardo Escobar and Aaron Hicks will follow. Fly ball left field. Gordon comes in.
We've seen a lot of those. Just a little easy fly ball outs. Torrey Hunter hitting the deepest fly ball that Gordon made a great catch, but a lot of easy fly ball outs.
And now Escobar, he briefly became a base runner. He walked with 1 out in the third, took off on the first pitch to Aaron Hicks and was thrown out, and then Hicks lined out to right.
Got 9 fly ball outs for the Twins, 4 ground ball outs to go with Chris Young's 2 strikeouts.
Young literally 1 pitch away from throwing a perfect game right now. Ball 4 to Escobar. Strike at the knees. on the ground, 3, 4, maybe 5 hops to Infante, 2 down. We'll bring up Hicks. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more info, visit foxsportssupports.com. Casey Fiend will get the 7th inning. We'll see if Hicks can. Break up a no-hitter here. Chris Heston got his no-hitter for the Giants in New York against the Mets.
How about that?
He hit 3 batters, but he threw a no-hitter. 1-0 to Hicks. 78 miles per hour, and that might be generous, but it hit the corner.
We kind of knew going into the ball game that Chris Young is not going to overpower their opponent, but he uses all 4 corners. We've seen it. There's a pitch down and in, the breaking ball, the fastball's up. That has created a lot of fly ball outs.
Three and 1, and because of the score of the game, all options are open here. Not that he would do it necessarily here with 2 outs, but it's a 1-0 game. Twins want to win the game. Bunts are fair game, even though the guy's got a no-hitter.
Right.
3-1 to Hicks. Dozier on deck.
Moustakas playing back at third,
and he takes a walk. And we'll see if the Twins try to steal Hicks, as they tried to steal Escobar back in the 3rd.
Second walk for Chris Young.
Dozier with a pop-up to second, and then a one-hopper back to Young. This guy's 6'10". There probably haven't been many high choppers over the mound. Hicks dives back.
Yeah, Aaron with 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts. Dozier with 18 doubles, 3 triples, 11 home runs. And with Hicks's speed, maybe an extra base hit might score him.
Outside, ball 1.
And the outfield defense for the Royals playing fairly deep in case of a ball hit in the gap.
Not just a walk, but Young has walked probably the fastest Twins base runner right now in Hicks. Long hold and a step on. Throw by Aaron Hicks that kept this a 1-0 ball game. Dozier watches strike 1. Not a big leg kick by Young. Just kind of picks up the front leg and pushes forward. Twins nearly stole second back in the 3rd inning. Escobar thrown out on a close play. Actually, extraordinary tag by Escobar on Perez's throw. Looked like Hicks was ready to break to second, but he reversed his field. What was the score of your no-hitter?
6-0.
Okay, it's a little cushion.
Right.
Well, this is an entirely different animal here, because the Royals and Twins are essentially tied for the top of the division. Very important game for Kansas City, and Young's got to divert some of his attention to make sure that Hicks doesn't steal second. And there goes Hicks. Got a good break, and Sir Perez can't pick up the ball. The pitch. Hicks went into a head-first slide and steals second base. The count is 2-1 to Dozier.
Yeah, breaking ball that just got away from Perez, but I don't think Perez was really going to throw because Hicks did have a great jump. Watch Perez's reaction right here.
You tried to backhand it,
maybe throw it, but Hicks, great jump right there, steals his 6th base in 7 attempts.
The Twins need a 2-out hit, a hit with 2 out. Hit to the outfield should tie the game. A hit over the outfield, a different matter. 3-1, Hunter on deck. And 1 to Brian Dozier. Breaking ball in the dirt. Dozier will fill first base.
Back-to-back walks by Young, now with 3.
Hunter nearly tied the game with a home run to left. He hit it to the wall, and with a leap at the wall, Gordon pulled it down. Here comes Dave Island, the pitching coach.
See, if I'm the pitching coach with Chris Young, it's mandatory that he stands on the grass. Let me stand
I'll stand on the rubber.
Yeah.
Hunter again hit a towering fly ball to left. Wind helped push it out to the wall, but not over it.
The Royals bullpen starting to stir a little bit.
Popped up, it will reach the seats, 1 strike. Hicks is able to get a huge lead at second base in a 1-0 ball game. The Royals are pretty much ignoring him. Infante and Escobar are split as if there's nobody on base at all.
Oh, they're playing back, just they want to get the out right here, the 3rd out of the inning. Don't want to lose any of that range by getting too close to second base bag.
Strike called 0-2. Outside.
Perez wanted it away. But it got the inner half of the plate.
0-2 to Torrey Hunter. Laced to left, right at Gordon. He hardly had to move. And Young still has a no-hitter through 6 and still has a 1-0 lead. First batter of the game scored the only run so far.
Yeah, Escobar led off the game with a double. Then Mike Moustakas drove him in for the only run. And the story of the game so far has been the tall 6'10" Chris Young. 6 no-hit innings.
There have been a couple of line drives. Hunter's made 2 bids for a hit. But through 6 innings, a no-hitter for Young. And there's already been a no-hitter thrown by a Chris tonight. Chris Heston. He hit 3 Mets. He was designated for assignment a couple years ago. Nobody wanted him. 13th major league start. And the Giants just keep rolling along. Matt Cain's hurt. Jake Peavy's hurt. No big deal. We'll let this guy get into the rotation, and he throws a no-hitter.
He might be in that rotation for a while.
Omar Infante against Casey Fiend.
Yeah, Casey Fiend making his 15th relief appearance.
Fox Tracks presented by Ram. Little pop fly short left. Escobar backpedaling. He's underneath it. One quick out for Fiend here in the 7th.
But that Trevor May, you know, maybe he didn't have his best stuff. I'll tell you what, this is really an important start for him. I think he pitched well here tonight. He really did. Worked out of some jams.
Yeah, I mean, Royals started the 1st inning with 2 hits. That's when they got the run. They started the 4th inning with a walk and a hit. They started the 6th inning with a single and a walk. And he had difficulty to fight through most of the night. Strike 1 to Escobar. Now 1-1.
A lot of those from Casey Fiend, that little cutter. Once in a while, he's been working on that slow curveball and a changeup.
Fouled off the end of the bat, 1-2.
There's another cutter. Almost like a slider, just a little quicker. Fiend put on a disabled list back in late April with some right shoulder issues. Activated on May 29th.
One and two to Alcides Escobar. And Fiend with the cutter gets a strikeout, 2 down. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand in True HD with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Watch at home, in the office, or on the go every night, every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Never know what you're going to see.
Here's Mike Moustakas. Just chipped a soft liner into left field to score Escobar from second base.
That last pitch, that's the curveball he'd been working on. Just maybe get strike 1. Just missed.
Up and away, and it's 2-0.
Casey, 31 years old, in his 4th season with the Twins.
Porter's had a generous outside corner.
Doesn't make him a bad guy.
2-1 to Moustakas. And now 3-1. Cain on deck.
Fiend has been a workhorse for the Twins over the last 2 years. 73 relief appearances in each year, 2013 and last year.
3-1 count now. The Twins pull into an exaggerated infield shift. And Moustakas hits one right to Dozier. A 1-2-3 7th inning. As a student, I don't know how Joe Mauer was in history, but he has ruined a lot of baseball history in his time over the years. He'll try to break up Chris Young's no-hitter when we come back.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Carsoup.com trivia question. I got to believe Dick Hauser did. After
Tony Pena and Whitey Herzog. It's on page 203 in their media guide.
Okay. All right. Remembering that the manager of the year balloting is done before the postseason, so that I guess is why Dick Hauser did not win after the '85 season. Here's Joe Mauer looking for the Twins' first hit, and he takes a strike on the outside corner.
13 first pitch strikes for Chris Young and 21 batters faced now.
Twins haven't been no hit since Jared Weaver did it a little over 3 years ago in Anaheim.
75 pitches now for Young, and you know what? Yeah, you want to see how far he goes, but with their bullpen, I think he's on a short leash.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
1-1. 2-1. Joe Mauer broke up Anibal Sanchez's no-hitter in the 9th inning a couple of years ago in Detroit.
Yeah, Chris Young making his 195th major league start. He has only one complete game and has a 10-1 win back in 2008 when he was with the Padres.
Pulled foul. Oh, nice job by Butch Davis.
Nice jumping, Jack.
Two and two.
Now we're pulling that ball, and Butch Davis leaping over it.
Something
about 4 feet.
Something Jason Vargas wished he could have done last night. Outside 3-2. Young walked 2 men with 2 outs in the 6th, and then got Hunter to line out to end the inning. And now it's a full count to Mauer. Plouffe and Rosario will follow. Slap foul. Joe's broken up 3 no-hitters in the 9th inning. This is just the 7th. He's trying to at least get the game tied up here in the 7th. 3-2. A high fly to left field. Kane calls for it, and right about where Hunter's ball was caught back in the 4th inning, Mauer's ball is caught in the 7th. One down. That'll bring up Trevor Plouffe. Trevor 0 for 2. The June swoon has continued. Going to snap out of it in this at bat. Picks up and in. Tigers beat the Cubs 6-0 behind the aforementioned Anibal Sanchez. Check swing, 2-0. Deep to the right field corner. This has got some carry. This is high off the wall. A hard carom. Plouffe will round second and go to third. And the no-hitter's broken up on a near home run down the right field line.
Wow, Trevor with 8 home runs. Again, 7 of them hit here at Target Field. We have yet to see him hit one like that down that right field line. And that ball maybe 3-4 feet from going out. High off the wall in right field, and when it hit the wall, it caromed back toward the infield. How close it was. Oh, wow.
6 inches.
Ooh, wow. Instead, it's a triple, and here comes Ned Yost.
You gave up a hit, you're out of here.
Yep.
But to be fair, Young was running on fumes, or so it appeared, with walks to Hicks and Dozier. Hunter hit his ball hard. Mauer nearly walked. Quite an effort, quite a performance by Chris Young, and he leaves with the time run at third and one.
Look at the fans right there applauding a very good performance.
Made history in New York. He hit 3 New York Mets, but he did not give up a hit.
And that's the way to end a no-hitter, too, with the strikeout.
Trevor Plouffe nearly tied the game with a deep fly ball. Missed clearing the fence by about 6 inches.
Trevor needed that hit right there. Get him going again. So a triple for Trevor Plouffe, his second of the year.
Franklin Morales in. The Royals bring the infield in for Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, Morales 23 1/3 innings, only 17 hits allowed. He's the only lefty in that bullpen.
That fastball got in on Rosario in a hurry. Might have surprised him a little bit. Rosario hitting .318 against lefties, but he's behind in the count now, 0-1.
Morales, good fastball, hard breaking ball.
Bouncer to short. Plouffe can't move. Rosario retired, 2 down. And that'll bring Ned Yost out. Morales got Rosario, and Suzuki will hit against a right-handed reliever. Morales did his job.
And they're turning it over to a very good bullpen. You can see where they rank in the major leagues. Number 1.
Elvin Herrera will come in with the Royals riding the same component they rode to the World Series last year. They are the reason that they are on top in their division. Another pitching change for the Suzuki at bat. Extensively on Fox Sports Live. We got all the news from the world of sports, including the latest from the Women's World Cup. The NBA Finals return to Cleveland for Game 3 and a preview of Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals as Tampa Bay holds a 2-1 lead, much to Phil Hughes' delight. Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Elvin Herrera coming into the ballgame, making his 24th relief appearance. I already showed you the numbers, how well they have pitched out of that bullpen. Only 14 hits allowed in 21 2/3 innings, 23 strikeouts.
He is the third musketeer. You hear about Davis, you of course hear about Herrera, but this guy's nasty in his role as well. He'll be asked to at least get Suzuki out and strand Plouffe at third.
Herrera with a overpowering fastball, hard curveball, and a changeup.
Suzuki with a fly ball to center and a pop-up to Perez. 0 for 4 in his career against Herrera. Inside, ball 1. We'll see what happens on this count here, but the Royals have the knowledge that Kenny Vargas is on deck, and if they choose to, if the count warps one way or the other, and they would have the option with 2 bases open of pitching to Vargas instead. Toward the hole, backhanded by Escobar. What a play!
Yeah, what a pick by Hosmer.
Escobar in the hole, one-hops his throw to Hosmer. On the backhand side, he scoops it up. It's still 1-0.
continue their series. Wednesday night, our coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports North with the Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Join us. And now, let's go back to Target Field.
Talked at length about the Kansas City bullpen, but part and parcel with an effective bullpen, a great defensive team out in the field, and one of the finest plays you'll see a shortstop and first baseman make in tandem. Lorenzo Cain will lead off the 8th inning, and he takes strike one from Casey Fiend.
Well, Casey Fiend had a 1-2-3 top of the 7th through 10 pitches.
One and one. Kane, Hosmer, and Morales. Foul. The roof of the Twins dugout. Seattle beat Cleveland. Corey Kluber with another tough loss. Final score 3-2. Indians just seem to have a tough time getting untracked. They may have the best starting pitching in the division, but there they sit now, 3 games below 500. Outside 2-2. What we're seeing is, instead of separation in the American League Central, we're seeing the teams get squeezed together again.
That's a good thing.
Sox leading the Astros. This ball cracked to the right field corner, but foul. Tigers were down around 500. Now they've won 3 straight.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, if you're the Milwaukee Brewers, I know they beat the Twins 2 out of 3, but when you're 17 games out, you know, you got a long way to go. It's frustrating coming to the ballpark, but if you stay within the, you know, the race and get back to 500, get into late August, early September, you're playing for something.
Chopper to third. Plouffe has it. Kane can run well, but Plouffe gets him by half step, 1 down.
Let's take a look at the play that ended the last inning. Hitter Suzuki hitting this ball sharply, and then the quick release, and then the great pick by the Gold Glove first baseman. What an outstanding play all around.
Now the left-hand hitting Hosmer due up. The Twins will make a pitching change. Casey Fiend faced 4 men, got 4 outs. He will leave. Twins bullpen trying to match outs with the Kansas City bullpen, hoping that the Twins can get a run or 2.
Chris Young said great play.
Hosmer will hit next.
Twins need to really get back on track, and that's Brian Dunsing. You see the high earned run average. He last worked here on Friday when he gave up 3 runs in a third of an inning to the Brewers.
Fouled away, 1 strike. All the numbers a little puffy for Brian. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
Well, some of it can be blamed on, that intercostal strain that he had that put him on a disabled list, but he's had 4 or 5 outings where he's had multi-run outings, and that's not good for a reliever.
Lefties are 8 for 18 against him. Here's a dribbler towards second. Easy play for Dozier. 2 down. Morales a switch hitter, so Dunsing might be left-handed face hit.
Yeah, and Brian knows, what he needs to do as long as he's healthy. In his 7th season with the Twins.
Morales 1 for 3. Was thrown out at the plate in the 6th inning. Trying to make it a 2-0 game. Aaron Hicks with a perfect 2-hop throw to get Morales. Outside, ball 1.
Yeah, we've seen some good defense by both teams. Not only tonight, also last night. Not an error committed yet by either team, either last night or tonight.
I guess, and I was talking with Roy Smalley about this before, and I think he agreed. I think you would too. I left the game last night. Of course, it would have been nicer if the Twins won the ball game, but I left the game entertained by watching 2 good baseball teams play a good baseball game. And we sadly haven't had enough of that over the last 4 years. And I think most of our viewing audience probably wanted the Twins to win the game as we did up here, but it didn't happen. But it still was a good game.
And I think that's what we've seen the first couple months plus. Some very good baseball, not only by the Twins, but sometimes by their opponent.
Well, 3-1. Now the Royals added a run late in the ball game that helped them win. Wayne Davis warming up, but the only difference in the game up to that point was the Royals got a home run with a man on. The Twins got a home run with the bases empty. 3-1, and now a walk will put Kendrys Morales aboard. We'll see if the Royals pinch run for him here.
Jarrod Dyson is used off that bench a lot of times to pinch run.
With 2 outs, apparently the move is to let Morales continue to run the bases. Here's Alex Gordon. And strike 1.
And the battle of the University of Nebraska teammates happen again.
Gordon's hit .290 against the best man in his wedding. 9 hits, 31 at bats. Dunsing's won most of the battles lately. Missed inside, 1-1.
Both of them signing in 2005 out of the University of Nebraska. Royals' #1 pick is Alex Gordon, and Brian Dunsing, the Twins' #3 pick.
Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Last night 3-1 Royals. Tonight 1-0 Kansas City. Two and 2. The Royals have just one left-handed reliever, Morales. Twins have 3. Perkins their closer. Thompson and Dunsing. Caleb Thielbar pitching well at AAA. We'd be surprised if we didn't see him at some point this year. Breaking ball in the dirt, scooped up by Suzuki. 3-2. And Morales can leave early from first now.
Well, a lot of times the old theory is what you are able to or think you want to throw 2-2, you should be able to throw 3-2. Just with that breaking ball there.
Lauer will play behind Morales.
See what Dunsing throws right here on a 3-2 pitch. And he's going to go back to the breaking ball.
Chop over the head of Dunsing, and it'll be an infield hit with Dozier playing in short right field.
Yeah, the ball not hit hard enough, and Brian was playing a very deep out on that grass second base. So Gordon wins the battle of friends here, but it's an infield base hit. You see where Dozier's playing. Dunsing could not get to it. No way that you're going to get Gordon.
And to pull Morales off the second base bag, Morales said, "No, I've done enough base running tonight. I'll stay here at second." Dunsing comes out, and it'll be Ryan Presley trying to get Alex Rios. Performance by Aaron Thompson. High fastball got him. Good inning for Presley.
We're the forgetful heroes. No matter how many outs we're supposed to get, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's just our job.
They've done a very good job of that, and now it's up to Ryan Presley coming in. He worked a shutout inning in last night's ballgame. First batter he faced was Alex Rios, and he got ahead in the count, then dropped the hammer on him and struck him out on 3 pitches.
First and second, 2 down. First pitch tap foul. Rios with a couple of fly balls to Hicks. It was the fly ball Rios hit in the 6th inning that Hicks caught and delivered his on-target throw to get Morales at the plate. The Royals have the only run of the game. They have lost 2 runners at second base and had a runner thrown out at the plate. They have left 7 men on. Presley trying to strand 2 more here in the 8th.
And you see the defense pretty even up.
Bouncer to short. Escobar flips to Dozier. 2 more left aboard. The bullpen pitches a scoreless 8th. Wayne Davis will come in to pitch to Vargas, Escobar, and Hicks.
Kansas City in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the big reason for Minnesota's struggles at the plate is because Chris Young stymied these hitters. A no-hitter through 7 1/3 innings. We'll look at that in our post-game show. Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Plus Trevor May and how he flirted with trouble all night, but in the end ended up with a pretty strong start. 6 innings for Trevor and only 1 run allowed to the Royals. And we'll hear from the manager, Paul Molitor. We'll bring you all the reaction and post-game news after the final out. Dick Burt.
Thank you, Marty. Wade Davis will be asked to do what he did last night. I'm sure Ned Yost would prefer that he not walk the leadoff man in the 8th, but Davis faced just 3 men in another scoreless inning.
Hey, walked Torrey Hunter. Joe Mauer hit into the double play. Then he struck out Trevor Plouffe. 12 pitches, 7 for strikes. And this guy is downright nasty. He has been nasty for a year and a half.
Up the line, foul. He has given up 1 run this year. 1. He doesn't give up hits. An occasional walk. He's actually walked 9 men in 25 innings, but that's still acceptable when you don't give up 12 hits and haven't given up a home run in 2 years. One strike to Kenny Vargas, another switch hitter Escobar, then another switch hitter Hicks for the Twins here in the 8th. Fouled back. Vargas trying to get caught up with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, Davis, 29 years old, 3rd season with the Royals. Basically used as a starter when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays.
On the outside corner at 96 miles per hour. 1 down.
Well, we saw it in last night's ball game. Jason Vargas, 6 shutout innings, and then you turn it over to the bullpen. And this bullpen, it started last year. The reason they went to the World Series, a lot of great arms out of that bullpen.
They won a lot of games like they won last night and might be winning here tonight. Just get a lead through the middle innings and then turn it over to the bullpen. We can see the radar gun readings. Here is Escobar. Strike 1. All right, now there's an off-speed pitch at 82. We've seen 96, 97. But it is the command that they have as a group that is just phenomenal. You saw Davis burning the outside corner, and Escobar now trying to catch up to 95 after looking at 82, and now he's behind 0-2. You can see his blood pressure must be shooting through the roof. And it's nice to know that you can push these buttons at the end of a game, as Yost did so successfully in October last year. Checked his swing, 1-2.
That's that little cutter that he missed down and in.
To not give up a home run. I mean, if it was just velocity, that would have happened a number of times by now. You know, 95, well, a lot of guys can throw 95, but they give up home runs. This guy doesn't give up a home run. It's a swinging strikeout. Perez throws to Hosmer, 2 down. And that'll bring up Hicks.
Yeah, 72 innings last year, no home runs allowed. Now Davis with 25 2/3 innings. No home runs allowed.
Hicks lined out to Rios back in the 3rd inning, maybe the hardest hit ball that the Twins have had, or at least in the early innings. And then he walked, stole second in the 6th. Missing inside, and not by much. Swing and a miss. And an off-speed pitch. inside, 2-1. Hicks has had 5 good plate appearances in this series. A couple of hits, hit the ball hard all 4 times, and then the walk his last time up. Good take by Hicks, and it's 3-1. Tried to encourage fans as Boyer warming up with the notion that Hicks does have a good eye at the plate, and if some other things can come together for him, you can imagine him being a productive hitter. 3-1. See what he gets here. Popped him up. Got a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and Moustakas ends the inning. We head to the 9th in a 1-0 ball game. The Royals leading it with Davis striking out 2 in the 8th. With a first inning flared single to left, driving in so far the only run of the game, and the Twins have just Trevor Plouffe's triple. Late in the game, that broke up a no-hit bid by Chris Young, and now Blaine Boyer will pitch to the Royals in the 9th.
Yeah, good numbers for Boyer. 29 innings, 26 hits allowed, 6 walks, 13 strikeouts. And a good job setting up Glenn Perkins when Casey Thien was put on a disabled list.
1 strike to Perez. Perez shooting a base hit to right field in the 2nd inning, but undaunted, the Twins still put the infield shift on for him. One and one. Perez staring at a nearly wide open right side of the infield. Only Bauer, and he's almost equidistant between first and second base. Boyer misfires 2-1. Oh wow! It is 2-0. Oh. A line shot into the second deck. And Perez hits his 9th of the year, and it left here in a hurry.
3rd home run that Boyer has allowed. And for the Royals, that's a big home run. It's a 2-0 game now. Boyer fell behind, came in with a fastball. Perez clobbered it.
Royals got an insurance run in the 8th last night. Perez knew it as soon as he touched it off. It sounded like the fireworks show. People going ooh and ah. You went ooh, didn't you?
Just brought back bad memories, that sound. That's all. Wow. Look at the hit speed. Almost 103.
Now Infante hits it off the end of the bat.
I mean, this is, every hitter's paradise right there to be able to hit the ball that hard. Look at that ball ends up in the second deck. That fan doesn't knock it down, it might break a seat. Estimated at 424 feet. Could have hung my clothes on that line drive home run.
One and two to Infante. Boyer's missed badly with a couple of pitches. Usually he's right around the plate. He missed one early in the Perez at bat. Fell behind 2-1. Didn't go to the backstop. And Holland now has a 2-run lead to work with. To center, playable for Hicks. One down. Bring up Escobar. You can measure everything in baseball now. Launch angle, exit velocity that we just showed you. It took 3.75 seconds from the point of contact for the ball to be grounded or touched by the fan in the upper deck.
Yeah, like I said, that just brought back a lot of memories. New ball, please.
1-0 to Escobar. And now 1-1. First came to the Royals. Escobar hit 8th or 9th in the Kansas City lineup. Now and Yost has him hitting at the very top. Just another reflection on Wade Davis. Now Boyer's been really good this year. And you said it's just the 3rd home run he's given up in what will be probably 30 innings of work. So that's good. This guy's never given up a home run since he was converted to a full-time reliever. There's a strike call, 2-2. That is amazing.
It is amazing.
And it would be one thing if he had had some success as a starter and dominated people at times, but that was never the case. But 1 inning at a time, there are none better than Wade Davis. 2-2 to Escobar.
Yeah, coming in today's play, I'm just reading the notes, not allowed a home run in 107 innings. From September 4, 2013 to now 108 innings to tonight.
What is the record in the live ball era? That has to be, I can't imagine anybody going longer. Even the best starting pitchers, the Koufaxes, Marischals, Gibsons, Blylevens. Well, all right, maybe not. 2-2. Now it's been one, inning at a time. Foul again by Escobar.
Well, we saw Kelvin Herrera, and he just gave up a home run, but he had not given up a home run in 105 1/3 innings. So bullpen that very, very nasty. Remember the nasty boys from the Cincinnati Reds?
Charlton, Dibble, Randy Myers, right?
Yep.
And Hicks will range to his right and catch out number 2. Bring up Moustakas. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by Century Link. Kyle Gibson moved up to make a start against the Kansas City Royals, a team he's had some success against.
Yeah, he really has. 4-1 in his career, and this is the 3rd meeting between these two this year. Volquez and Gibson. They both have won a ball game.
Twins will send up the top of the order: Dozier, Hunter, and Mauer, and then the Twins hope a few more after that. Outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Gibson doesn't have a lot of wins yet, but he's got the most against the Royals. He's 4-1 against the Royals in his career. So it should be another well-pitched game tomorrow night. On
At the
paper.
knees.
On paper.
Well, if the Twins don't come back in the bottom of the 9th inning, we will go into the 3rd game of the series with a total of 6 runs scored. It was the biggest issue for the Royals, and still is, their inability to score runs, as they did early in the season. And now the Twins going through a bit of a spell like that as well.
We touched upon it before. I mean, last year at this point, we're looking maybe 6-1 game, and not in the Twins' favor.
Yeah.
It's a 2-0 game. They're into almost every game the Twins are. Hopefully the offense will catch fire here shortly.
2-1 to Moustakas.
Boyer back in 2013 was in the minor league system for the Kansas City Royals, and then let go and ended up pitching in Japan the remainder of the 2013 season.
2-2 to Boyer, or to Moustakas, with Boyer on the mound. Popped up, and Suzuki back for a look.
Should have it.
Got it. Boyer gives up a home run to Perez. That doubles the Kansas City lead. Greg Holland will come to the mound with a 2-0 lead.
In the 7th inning with 1 out, Trevor Plouffe took a Chris Young fastball the other way and about maybe 6 inches to a foot from tying the game at 1 apiece. Instead, it was a triple, and the Twins left him there. And Greg Holland coming in, he picked up a save. in last night's ball game, his 10th on the season. Faced 3 batters, threw 13 pitches, 8 for strikes.
It'll be Dozier, Hunter, and Mauer. Dozier 1 for 7 against Holland. Hunter 1 for 8. Joe Mauer is 4 for 8 against Holland. We'll see what the Twins can get done here, if anything, in the 9th. First pitch foul back to the screen. Hosmer talked about the insurance run he added last night with his single. He said it made all the difference in the world because then Holland can use his arsenal of pitches and really go into attack mode, which is kind of what I think he does anyway.
Well, he's got a good fastball, and there's that, what we've had called for a while, a split finger, but he says it's a slider that drops like a split finger.
2 strikes to Dozier. Dozier 1 for 7 with 4 strikeouts against Holland. Perez sets up outside. And Dozier got one right down the middle, and he skied it to short center. Kane gloves it, 1 away. That'll bring up Hunter.
Talked about his delivery a little bit last night, how much he opens up. That chest almost goes toward that first base line. A very quick arm. Gets that ball toward home plate very quickly.
Hunter with a bouncer to short. Nearly tied the game with a home run in the 4th. Sent Gordon to the wall. And then with 2 on and 2 out in the 6th, he hit a liner right at Rios, or Gordon rather, in left. Outside, ball 1.
Holland spent some time on a disabled list from April 18th to May 6th.
Checked his swing, 2-0. Showing bunt and taking a strike at the knees.
Well, if you're a reliever, this is where, you know, I mean, you got a power hitter, Torrey Hunter. You've got a 2-run lead rather than a 1-run lead here. So you got a little room to work with, and you don't want to walk Hunter right here to face Mauer. So you're going to challenge him.
3-1.
Holland has walked 8 batters in 14 1/3 innings. Now 14 2/3 innings.
You're looking for some glimmer of hope. It obviously involves getting a man on base. 3-1. Popped up. Short right center field, and Torrey spikes his bat into the grass. Infante with the catch. 2 down.
Yeah, Torrey knew he should have done more with that fastball right there. It was right down the middle of the plate. And the frustration of Torrey Hunter slamming that bat down to the earth as he pops up for the 2nd out.
The glimmer of hope involves getting a guy on base for Trevor Plouffe, who is 2 for 8 against Holland, but both hits have been home runs. And for Mauer, it's been literally hit or miss. He's 4 for 8. 4 singles and 4 strikeouts against Holland. In the dirt, ball 1. Last 2 times that Mauer's faced Holland, Holland has struck him out. 2 times before that, singles. High, 2-0. 10 pitches, 5 strikes for Holland. Three and 0. Holland nearly walked Hunter. And now it's 3-0 to Bauer, and Plouffe is on deck.
And Perez is not going to move. He's going to sit right down the heart of the plate, as he did with Torrey Hunter on a 3-1 pitch.
And Bauer, of course, taking, and he takes a strike.
And Holland's going to do it again. Basically, here it is. Hit it. Great numbers when Joe is ahead in the count. 3-1 count.
And there's a walk, and Plouffe will have his chance. Trevor is the only Twins player to have hit a home run against Holland, and he's done it twice in his last 5 at-bats. That's exactly what the Twins need here. He nearly homered his last time up with 1 out in the 7th. He nearly took Chris Young out to the opposite field. See Hosmer, the first baseman, not holding Bauer, who will go to second. And ball 1. Bauer advances on defensive indifference.
Well, Trevor has 8 home runs, 5 of them against right-handed pitchers.
And now Perez to the mound. Plouffe's triple in the 7th, his first hit of the homestand. Awful series in Boston at Fenway Park. Actually got a game off. He's been struggling so much, but he's in the spotlight here. 1-0 from Holland to Plouffe. 2-0. If Plouffe is not retired, Eddie Rosario would have a chance. "16 pitches, only 6 strikes for Holland."
Now does Trevor get the green light here?
Boy, you've got to give him that chance, don't you?
It has to be middle in, something that he can hit out.
3-0. Strike over the inside corner.
Yeah, Perez sitting away, and the ball came back over the plate. A little bit low for Trevor, I think.
And 1 to Trevor Plouffe. Fouled back, 3-2.
I'd be surprised if he throws him a fastball here. I think he's going to throw him that little slider. Doesn't want to make a mistake. He has given up 1 home run on the season. Holland has.
Full count to Plouffe. Got him with the breaking ball. And the Royals have beaten the Twins in the first 2 games here. Tom Hanneman, a 2-run loss last night, and a shutout 2-run loss here tonight.
Dick, another frustrating and fruitless night for the Twins, who lose the series. And for now, the division lead. Up next on Twins Live, we'll talk about Chris Young stymieing Minnesota. Trevor May, strong start. We'll hear from Paul Molitor, and we'll look ahead to the series finale tomorrow night.